Hey man, say man. You already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's your local neighborhood player, Drip Damone Jr. Kicking it in the Player Circle podcast. Where we don't force nothing. If it don't fit, it don't sit. No squares in the circle. Hey man, today man, run that. No squares in the circle, nah, we don't do that. Player Circle stamp, yeah, you knew that. Drip Damone Jr. Bring the groove back, talk slick, play it cool. Let the truth snap, circle tight. Game right, bay talk, all night. Stay sharp, move clean. No squares on the team. Player Circle, tap in. Yeah, that I mean. Talk light, go dumb, light on me.
And let's go. Hey man, say man, you already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's your local neighborhood player, Drip Damone Jr. kicking in the Player Circle podcast. We don't try to fit a square into a circle. And hey man, today man, we here with a very special guest, a very special player, man. Talk to me, I talk back, man. Who we here with?
I'm Jake, One Take Jake the Snake. You know, Mac Dre's right-hand man, little brother. Managed him for a minute, helped him do music. Mainly was with him probably more than any other human for probably 5-6 years straight, so.
Okay, One Take Jake, man. Where you from, man? What's your upbringing like, man? How did you come to be the man that became Mac Dre's right-hand man?
Basically, I grew up in the Bay Area. I was born in Hayward. Family lived in San Leandro, Washington Manor. Moved to Dublin when I was 7. And then went to, elementary school in Dublin, went to junior high in Dublin, high school at Dublin High. Got out of high school. My parents ended up moving from Dublin to El Dorado Hills in 97-ish. And I was back and forth until I ended up going up there about 98 fully and staying up there.
Okay, so how did you get into music? What was your music upbringing? What was some of your favorites in music? You grew up in the Bay Area, so who was you growing up listening to? How did you get into music? And what led you to become One Take Jake that ended up coming in contact with the greatest musician the Bay has ever seen, Mac motherfucking Dre? How do you go from little Jake growing up in Dublin to hanging out with possibly the coolest cat anyone's ever seen out here?
Right. That was destiny, I feel. Everything's meant to be. I don't believe in coincidences. So I grew up playing sports. Football was a quarterback. I forget which friend of mine it was. So we were listening to NWA, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and all them, and some hip hop growing up. So this is probably about 10, 11 years old. I got introduced to my first Too Short tape. So Too Short, Born to Mac album. Then I was turned down on gangster rap. Right then, I loved it. So then I'm always bumping that shit to football practice. My mom was like, "What you listening to? I hear it. Give me your headphones." And oh man, she take my Too Short tape out, strip it out, throw it out the window.
Tear all the strings out.
Feel me? Yeah, pull all this stuff out, man. I'm like, man, come on, mom. Oh, that's my favorite. How am I gonna get another one? I don't even. They weren't even selling to kids back then. So you guys,
they was mature on your ass. You couldn't even listen to it.
Right. So then, then I heard, Mac Dre was like 1990. So I had to be like, okay, so 90. Yeah, I'm trying to. So 90, I was.
I'm born.
So that's, how old was I in 90? So 13 years old. Okay. 90, 91, whenever Dre dropped that. So then I'm on that. So we would listen to everything.
So
E40, Too Short, all the Bay Area rappers are just really learning from their, first CDs coming out, tapes coming out, and really on that as kids, right? And so that was really something we wasn't even supposed to be doing, but it was so dope to us. We was like, this shit is so raw,
13,
right?
You heard
and it
Dre.
was juicing me up for football games too. So we'd be listening to that, ready to go. It was motivating us. It was, and so yeah. So then that first Young Black Brother tape, I always had that tape from the day I first got it. It was one of my favorite tapes of all time. So I'm just a Mac Dre fan, right? So I'm a kid playing sports, doing all that. Then my parents ended up moving to El Dorado Hills, and I'm still, let's go a little bit before that. I partied a lot back then. So I'm in the rave scene out in the Bay Area. We ended up actually throwing a rave my parents invested in, some friends of ours. and me, you know, but always going to the raves all like every weekend, you know, popping ecstasy, like in the beginning in my mind of when ecstasy really came out and people were really doing it. So I'm taking it, you know, addicted to the shit, doing it all the time, trying to lie to my parents, act like I'm not doing it, going out with my friends, but I'm bringing more friends and more friends to the raves. We doing raves in San Francisco, Oakland, all the way down to Santa Cruz. And so, you know, but I religiously every weekend. So, you know, popping ecstasy, doing whatever, you know, being stupid kids, you know. So then I was addicted to the shit. So I ended up having to get off the ecstasy. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm cleaning up my life. And so then, you know, but then, you know, this, you know, but the money, you need to make some money. So I moved to Sacramento, you know, I'm going to clubs and shit. And so, you know, I'm end up, you know, selling shit, selling ecstasy at the time, you know, me and some bitches on roller skates, you know, we out there doing our thing, you feel me? And yeah, so then go a little bit before that, I'm out there with a crew in Sacramento, and I'm from the Bay Area, so they don't really know me that well, but we in the clubs and we, you know, doing our thing, and but they got much love for me because I'm, you know, doing this and that with them, and next thing you know, they rap. So I'm like, yeah, I'll help you guys whatever I can, you know, whatever that I can do. Actually, we got to go before that, because when I first moved to Sac, there was another group of rappers that was from East Sacramento, from Rosemont, and I ended up falling out with them. And this comes into play later on too, because they ended up jumping us, me and Mac Dre, together one night at the club, the VIP club. So because of my situation with them. And so, but Dre, you know, always had my back. So whatever, you know, Dre was a superhero to me. Like he wouldn't let nothing happen to me no matter what. But always, you know, everything was solid with me and Dre. So, you know, growing up, having that, you know, I was a Mac Dre fan. And then, you know, doing these dealings with different people around town, and, you know, maybe falling out over this situation, that situation. That's 97, 98.
97, 98.
Yeah.
So he probably been home, what, at this time?
He did another stint for a year. They put him back in the same cell that they took him from in Lompoc for smoking a blunt.
What?
Yeah, so after he got out in 95, 96, yeah.
95, 96.
I think it was like a year later, he violated smoking weed, and then they sent him back to the same cell that he was in for another year. And then I met him after that.
So we did a total of 6 years, and I never.
Yeah, 6, 5 plus 1. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
All right, so he come home.
Yep, he come home.
At this time, you got this going on.
Yeah, I got this going on. So I'm basically trying to manage these little rappers and shit, and then we end up falling out. And I go back to the same club we was all gurping at, selling Thizzes, and standing my ground. And we heard Mac Dre was in town. Right before that, I ended up meeting Molly Mall. And so me and Molly Mall was like brothers back then. And so, and then I meet Dre one night. So I'm at this club called Sac Late Nights.
Let's go through this night. We got to bust this down.
Yeah.
Just the night you meet Dre.
Yep.
You at this club, talk us through, walk us through. We here with you tonight, man.
Yep.
What's going on? How you meet Dre?
So I'm in the club. I still got an issue with these guys because they didn't cross game with me. So I'm like, but I'm still standing my ground because I'm the one with the Thizzes, really. So I just put them on. So next thing I know, I'm over there at the club. We coming back to the same club. I swear on everything I love, I got Mac Dre Staying Alive song in my deck with the Mind of a Hustler a CD, and that was dropped already. So that was already, I bought that at the store, and that's in my deck. Song number one, I'm feeling it, Staying Alive, right? So I'm in the club, right? And so I see these dudes that I just already got into. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. We having fun. There's hella girls in here, you know, we doing our thing. And I'm dancing, doing my thing. I'm Thizz, and next thing I know, I look over and I see the skinny black dude with the sombrero on in the corner of the club gigging. And I'm like, who the fuck? I'm looking at him like, stop my whole shit. We over here breakdancing. I got different gloves on, costumes on. We breakdancing with the girls. It was late. It may have been a New Year's or something. I don't know, but it was cracking. I walk over, I'm like, do I know you? Like, I was drawn to him, like, bro, he's staring at me, like, cause we pop locking, we having fun, we thizzing, he know we thizzing, right? Yeah. So Dre's like, I said, do I know you? He said, Treezy. I said, Treezy? He said, Mac Dre. I said, Mac Dre? What the fuck, bro? I hug him. I was like, bro, I got you in my deck right now. Like, what the fuck? Nobody out here, like, they don't know, bro. I love you. I'm from the Bay. Jake, I'm fucking with you. I said, all right, here, I got all these pills. What you want? And Dre's like, nah, just let me get a couple. It takes a couple of them. Yeah. Okay, we rocking. We party all night, man. Thizz and party and just, man, me and him all night, right? All right, I'll fuck with you, Jake. Let me get the number. Gets the number, bounce out. You know, a couple weeks later, Dre hits me. I'm in Chico. So I left there, went straight to Chico to my boy Dusty's house. He let me stay with him. It's college town, girls everywhere. Dre calls me, Jake, where you at? So I'm in Chico. He said, I'm coming. I'm pulling up. I said, all right, come on, pull up. So later that day, Dre pulls up. Pill sick, he's throwing up, pulls up in an excursion. I got you, Kenny, don't even worry. Jump in the back seat, I'm gonna drive us around. So I'm gonna go drive us around and go meet all these people in Chico and tell them I got Mac Dre with me. Let's do a show, let's do something. So
that's how you got, so this is because you end up becoming somewhat of an A&R manager. Like you came way more than just somebody who was a friend to him. Talk to me about your relationship. How would you describe it before we get to everything? How would you describe your relationship, man?
Dre saw what I was doing. His goal at that time was to get people like me out the streets and get away from bullshit and getting in trouble. So Dre said, Jake, as long as you keep it real with me, I got your back. So I knew that was very important to make sure I kept it real with Dre. And so ever since then, we had a real solid bond where whatever it was, it had to be 100. So
you wore many hats.
Yeah, but all that came from, my upbringing and working and doing business and stuff like that. And, my dad owned a national food brokerage for many years. So they get food products in like Costco and stuff like that, and grocery stores and stuff, and help companies, enhance their catalog or whatever, and then help them put them on the shelf. So,
okay, so y'all riding around Chico. This is the start of the beginning of a relationship. How does it flourish? Where does it go from here?
Oh, wow. Yeah, Chico. So we just kind of like, we're getting to know each other right then. And, we end up, going back to SAC and then going back to Chico. We had fun. It would just call us back and it was having hella fun. They was treating us like royalty out there.
What is he at this time? Is he romping? Is he?
No, Dre's just trying to. I feel like he was trying to get away from something right then, right? Whether it be the hood or whatever he was dealing with, and so this will come into play later, where I didn't know really what page he was on, and
okay.
so it was, and it's okay because Dre didn't want me to feel like that, and that's his issue. But he was just gonna needed somewhere to go to, and it ended up being a safe place at the time. So we ended up staying in Chico for a few months, and then going back to I had a girl in Antelope, so we'd be back and forth from there to Antelope, and we ended up staying and living in her apartment for a while in Antelope too. So yeah, we had an immediate bond. We like to do the same things. He brought me back in to start taking business again. So I was done. And I was telling him at the time, now that I don't do this stuff no more. So I don't promote it. Drugs are bad. That's why I'm here. My message is going to be to, help the kids stay away from drugs. Now they're dying all the time.
It's like doing Russian roulette.
Right. Every time you take
drugs
a drug
right now,
right.
It's like you're doing Russian roulette with your life. If you put anything in your mouth.
Right.
To try to get high for a little bit, you're playing Russian roulette every single time you do it.
And imagine this. So you go take a pill, right? You just bought on the street. You cut it in half, and the half of the pill had some fentanyl in it. You test the other half, and it shows up clean. You eat the pills, you're dead. And I've seen it all. So yeah, it's in the weed now. It's in the vapes. It's in everything. So that's the message after going through this, actually making music to promote it. And after everything is said and done, and my brother's gone and dead, and the big lessons that we learn in life, the message here is, don't do drugs, straight up. Don't sell drugs.
Don't tell that part of it. He was so much bigger than just somebody that did drugs.
Right.
And it was, I seen a lot of people saying in my comments like, oh, all he was just getting high. Like, no, he brought people together.
Yeah.
People of all walks of life.
Yeah.
And he was like a chameleon. He can go in anywhere and blend in. So let's talk about this. I hear a lot about, I was watching the documentary and they start saying how the Thizz really movement started from Dre going to kick it with them other people and being at raves and things like that. And you said you were going to raves at a young age. Talk to me about the rave life for y'all. Like,
yeah, so that was basically influence from me because I was going to the raves. Dre didn't really go to raves. He may have went to something, but I didn't know about it. But how did I not know about it? Because I lived with Dre. I was with Dre every day for years. So if he went to a rave, he would have made sure I went to the rave. So come on. So his rave influence was me. I was popping the pills, getting the good pills, passing them out to the crew, making sure the crew had the right good pills, not no bullshit. And that's what we was having fun doing that stuff. Like I said, I don't promote it, but that's what we was doing at the time. And it opened up a side of Dre of creativity, and you know, it opens up the left side of your brain. And Dre was, and I watch him do it, and the way he was writing his bars and everything is like I've never heard and seen anybody be able to put this together. That's why I believed in him so much, and that was my position. It was based on how much I believed in his talent, and I know how raw he was, and then seeing what he created before I met him. And then it was, you know, a lot of the production quality was low. And so our focus was going to be getting back into making music and the quality of things. And with his talent level of being able to produce, make beats, rap, hook, sing in his own way.
Get on camera.
He had everything. His marketability, how fun he was, how loyal he was, how real he was. There's no bullshit story you'll ever hear about this man. He did some sucker shit against the grain. Everything was with the grain with that dude. So, you know, and ended up being one of the solidest human beings in the world. So personally, I dealt with him for years. So I know every day, and there'd be ups and downs.
What favorite album was he at by the time y'all met?
So he had the Cutthroat Committee album done, and it wasn't released. So he had that album I told you, I think it was done from some people in Modesto, the Mind of a Hustler album. And then something happened with the money situation, so we ended up re-releasing it in 2000 under our label, Thizz Entertainment. I helped co-found Thizz Entertainment.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Thizz Entertainment, you helped co-found it.
Yes.
Let me know what year it started. Let me know how Thizz came about, because this is a big discussion we're having. Did Thizz start in Vallejo? That's what, like, even me, I thought shit, he from Vallejo. Thizz started in Vallejo. That's what I thought.
That's all our
what
family.
I was under the impression that it was.
Yeah.
When did Thizz start? Where did Thizz start? Who was a part of Thizz Entertainment getting off the ground?
Okay, so it was, I got to keep 1,000 here. So Ryder J. Clyde from the Mob Figures, he was there with us every day. So he was a part of it from the day I met. Dre was always someone he fucked with and wanted to work with. And so he was number one. Not that there's any order, but in my, you know, so there's him, there's Doobie, you know, and Something Terrible. Something Terrible was basically a group that Dre came up with the name pretty much, and it was our friend Manny Fresh from the South, Sac, really good friend of ours. Like immediately, like really, we bonded with him. We loved being with him. He was all in with us, and it was just a short period of time. And then Manny, we got a phone call. Manny crashed his motorcycle without a helmet on or something like that, riding down the street in South Sac. A car pulled out and he ran into the car head first, and he passed away. Rest in peace, Manny Fresh. And so we go to the funeral, me and Dre, and his group that he was trying to, he was managing, and he produced a few rappers, which I don't know if they had the name yet or not. I'm gonna have to, you know, find out if they had a name at that point or not, or, you know, I think Dre gave it to him, or I'm pretty sure Dre gave it to him. So then we're gonna help Manny Fresh's vision and see this through. His rappers was Chuck B's, Sausalito, and Bad Business. And so, but they were dope. And so, yeah, of course, you know, we're gonna rock with this and see this through. And so that was the only people signed to Thizz. You know, we wanted, I'm gonna tell you, all the people we wanted to be there, and then people were signed to this and that and wanted to do this and that, wanted to be independent and all that. But it was just a small little group. And
what city is it? So Thizz started in Sacramento.
Yeah, so we were in
California.
Sacramento, okay? So we were, like I said, back and forth from Chico to Sac, and then we were staying away from the Bay Area. We were under surveillance, obviously. Dre's always been under surveillance, so it's just something that, you know, at that time it was better for him to move out away from Vallejo and be in Sacramento. So he was living in Vegas at the time. When he called me from when I'm in Chico, he called me from Vegas and said, I'm on the way home. And he was leaving Vegas. He just packed all his shit. Something happened. We'll get into that later. So something happened in Vegas. He packs all his shit. They on their way home. And his girl at the time, Carrie, she took the U-Haul with all the studio equipment and went off in one direction, and Dre ended up coming with me and Chico.
So I'm gonna ask you, how the fuck do you stay silent with this story?
Yeah, I was in the streets.
How? That's what I'm gonna ask your ass next. We're gonna continue this because where we at? We at Sacramento. He just came from,
so he came from Vegas, and then it was pretty much where he was gonna go with me at that point. If I went to Santa Cruz, we would have went to Santa Cruz. We ended up going to Sacramento because my girl stayed in Antelope. She said, y'all can come over here.
All right, so y'all in Sac now.
Yeah.
And y'all did the raids, and
we're not doing that good.
How the conversation for y'all ain't doing it? Talk to me about that.
No, we ain't doing that good. So Dre left immediately, unexpected, had to leave Vegas. Life's, roller coasters up and down. Hadn't even released the Cutthroat Committee yet, so he was on that last Modesto album. They cashed him out. So really, the last one before that was, like Rapper Gone Bad or something, right? So and that was dope as fuck. So I don't know. Dre already had a deal with Walt at City Hall Records. So, at that point, after meeting Dre, then he brings me in. We put together a proposal to get some money from Walt at City Hall Records. So, that moment, we're in Sacramento.
Talk to me about the proposal terrible. Talk to me about that.
The proposal is
Dre a street nigga.
Yeah.
You a young man who
Well, my dad's in El Dorado Hills. He's running his food brokerage.
Okay, so
he's got employees, all this stuff, right? And I'm just running around with Mac Dre being stupid, right?
So was it you like, man, we gotta put a
I was like, this is better at this point. He told me everything that he's dealing with Walt. He's gotta wait for this to come through. But I was like, well, we could just come at him and come correct, and then maybe, put together a proposal that we need some money to get on the road and promote this next album that we're working on. And
that's how you did that. So y'all was on some gangster shit.
40,000. Yeah, Walt gave us 40,000. I don't even think we left. I think he walked in the other room and just cut the check and gave us 40 bands, and it was off to the races.
Kick one. So that's the kickstart off Thizz Entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, Treal TV 1. That's my introduction to what Thizz Entertainment was. I seen a lot of stuff. I seen niggas dancing. I seen a lot of dance moves that I was doing when I was in house parties and shit, because that was
us in something terrible, really. It's something terrible. That's why in Sacramento, and then doing that, Dre was overseeing that and working with them on music. This came a long ways after. You're gonna have to stay tuned, and there's a lot of shit coming. This whole story, all the stuff. So there's so much in between. You're gonna have to just stay tuned. But basically, we ended up rocking with it. I'm gonna give it up to who I need to give it up to. That was something terrible. They were the dancers. They gave Dre the youthful energy, and I don't know, that whether everybody went off in their different directions or however it worked, and whatever. But they're still, that's where it came from. Are with them having fun, thizzing with something terrible, going out. Yeah, the Crest was there too. They came and they was family too, so they was going dumb, and we was all going dumb together. It was when we come together on the weekends and what people saw. So I gotta say it came from all of us, really. There was other camps and from the Bay Area rappers that they wasn't really hyphy yet. So we was fucking with Keek and shit, and so really we knew we was listening to Keek every day, and we was hyphy doing the shit right along. Keek and them, and the Keek would look at us, and Keek's like, damn, Dre, you really hyphy, so shit. It all made sense. All my folks from G Parkway, Stupid Swoop, Noon, Chuck, Sauce, everybody that was out there, Bad Business, going crazy in G Parkway with them, and Stupid Swoop, and man, it just came to life. I gave Stupid Swoop his first pill, and we was in Fresno at the show with Be Legit and RBL, and me and Dre give him the pill. Next thing you know, he taking the pill, he dancing, he going crazy. So he came to life that day too, opened up his left side of his brain. So then next thing you know, they going crazy. We all hyped up, juiced up. We doing our thing. We running around town going dumb, but everybody looking at us like we crazy. Like they don't know it wasn't on our shit yet. They was like, who the fuck these guys?
It wasn't hyphy yet, right?
Right. We was hyphy. So everywhere we went,
it was
hyphy.
essence.
Yes. And they're like, and then after we make a hit or something.
Okay, what monopolized it? How did
Cutthroat Committee, when we dropped that, then people start hearing it at every ghetto. I went on 2 tours around the nation with Dre, passing out flyers in every hood. And when we were in Kansas City, they bumping, bump, bump, bump. They bumping our shit. I'm like, okay, they ain't bumping nobody else from here to there. So, a lot of in between didn't know, but that's what our job was, to promote it, use that money to go promote what we working on now in the previous albums.
Because it was different. So. Talk to me about the music hustle then that y'all had to go on, what y'all had to. Now, if I'm an artist, I go in there, do a song, upload it from the same place, and it's out there, the whole world can see it. It can get popular today, right now.
Right.
What
So,
was y'all vision like? What was the y'all got 40,000 right
yeah,
now?
40,000.
40,000.
So, yeah.
How do y'all decide?
We went and got the range and the cruiser. So Dre, his pull-up game had to be first. So, and we was like, I was trying to get Dre to go out, and he'd be like, "No, Jake, we ain't." And I get it, we wasn't right yet, but I want to show Mac Dre off and be and out there and let the business come. Right? Network with people and do, But at the time, he had the business plan already. He knew he can turn in an album, and then he's getting $7 on the back end, right? So that was the business game. That was the whole, and this takes this much time, and they give us these printouts. So how do we trust these printouts? So they just hand us these printouts. So that's just how the game was. Whether someone was doing us wrong or right, that's just what I saw.
Give me some GAME. What's a printout?
A printout of the sound scans. So then you sold this many CDs, you're owed this much money from the distributor. Okay. So then, well, we owe you this, or here's your credit. And sometimes we give you advances on how dope you are. We should give you an advance before you sign or something. Why
this is coming from City Hall, the record company?
City Hall Records was our distributor. Yeah. So.
Okay. So now we lit. It's cracking. Y'all show to show, city, state to state. The ball's rolling. It's enter the 2000s now. Entering the 2000s. Dre. Oh, this is what I want to ask. Was Dre on before he passed, or did he turn into this
he was so
celebrity
on, I
that
couldn't even deal with him? He was so on. I could. It was. He knew it, and it was just the greatest. It was such a short period of time, but he was so on. But the way I looked at him, a lot of people from the Bay Area knew who he was and how dope he is. So he was on since, I want to say, young black brother, period, to whoever who knew him. But our job was to go show him to everybody else. And there's mass opportunity out there. He's so dope, and because I watch him, write this stuff. I'm like, bro, like you, and what we had already compared to what other people spitting around town. And I'm calling people like Molly Mall, telling him he's in Vegas with all the big boys, Rick Ross and everybody. And I'm telling him, bro, Mac Dre is the dopest motherfucker in the world. And he's like, okay, Jake, but he knows Dre. So he's like, okay, okay. And I kept telling him.
So the big rappers knew about Mac Dre too.
Yeah, because I met people like Neo, and he said he was a Mac Dre fan in San Diego one time. So, but this after Dre passed. But there's a lot of people, if you were in the game and you were in the game, you knew. But Dre's downfall, his time gone, and then right then we had to put the new stuff.
I got two questions for you. Where do you think Dre would have been if he didn't go to prison, and where do you think Dre would have been if he didn't pass away?
Oh, if he didn't go to prison, he'd have been bigger than. It would have been the biggest, right?
Out of everybody in the Bay, like
so
who he had.
His mind, if they would have kept him away from everything. Yeah, it's so raw.
So, all right, he come home now. He's still big, though. He come home, walk that down like a man, didn't tell on nobody. Then you said he went down for another year, which I didn't know. He goes down for another year. So he did 6 years.
Yeah.
And then came home and went on the craziest run.
Yes.
Anybody, what album was he dropped what?
His work ethic is like no one I've ever seen in my life.
The work ethic, talk about that, man. That man's work ethic.
He didn't stop working. He would just run out of power and fall down. Like he says, he felt like he's gonna fall down. Like that, he just boom, it's over. But he goes so long, more than anyone I ever see. He'd sleep once in a while, just boom, and I'll be driving or something, and then he'd fall asleep or something. But then once he was amped up, Jake, let's go, get up. Let's pop.
Post-prison run, 1998, he dropped Don't Hate the Player, Hate the Game, Stupid Doo-Doo Dumb, that's in 98. So 2 albums in 98. 1999, he drops Rapper Gone Bad. 2000, he drops Heart of a Gangster, Mind of a Hustler, Tongue of a Pimp. 2001, he dropped It's Not What You Say, It's How You Say It. 2001, he dropped Mac Dre's The Name. 2002, he dropped Thizz Washington. 2003, Ali Boo Boo. 2004, Ronald Reagan, Dragonomics. 2004, Genie in a Lamp. In 2004, my favorite album ever, The Game is Thick 2. So that's a run.
I was there for every second of every album. I helped him make every single album, whether it was me driving him to the studio or being in the studio with him or pushing record on the shit. I know so much about every single song, and that's stay tuned.
Tell me something about Mac Dre most people don't know about him. Like just
like you look at him like, he's like, but that boy, after everything, to me, he's on the level of Jimi Hendrix or Elvis, and like I said, everything's meant to be. He had to go out when he went out in this peak of his, but I feel like he should have got a little more for how hard he worked and his work ethic. So that's what I learned. So there's no sleep with me at times. If we're working on something, we're gonna just work all the way through. I don't care what it is. We sleep doing the work next to the work. So that's what I learned from him. And we was just always in the computers and all the newest equipment, music, musicians, if you're raw and bringing people to the table and, you know, making that dope shit. That was the whole thing where I'm like, man, we need better quality. So we work on that, working with different, like I said, we end up getting a studio in Oakland and we're right there with all these different bands. So we going over here, getting a riff from a guitar player, some you know, saxophone stuff over here around the corner. Dre waiting for somebody to come. He got all this shit in his mind. I'm just helping. I'm gonna go down the street to the Cannabis Club, get us some honey dip watermelon weed real quick, come back, get some backwoods. And by then he already got the riff. He back in the thing and I didn't even hear it, but oh yeah, we did that. And then it would boom. Next thing you know, we do the song. It's going on the album. I'm on the album. I'm on the hook. We STUPID. I'm one of the voices on that hook. Me, Miami, Crystal, and Dre. Yeah, I remember that whole night. We did the Al Boo Boo song. I'm on there talking about it. Does Dre A? You know, tell the bitch, you know. So,
okay, One Take Jake, let me ask you a quick question. Everybody knows you as One Take Jake. Tell me the real story behind the name. And did Dre actually give you that name?
Yeah, Dre gave me that name because it was like, for some reason, every time we record, it was done in one time. The energy, the everything, we shut everybody. I would just, okay, I need to just clean, everything's ready, the levels look good. Dre would look over everything. And then, you know, we just get it done, and the rapper would spit it. I'd be looking in their eyes. We just done. They got it. They on it. They don't let's not go in here until you got it. Dre's one of the best I ever seen in my life. You know, I know rappers like Sugar Free, Forte, and you know, I met Eminem and Snoop and them at the Up and Smoke concert. But you know, Dre, he knew how to make beats, produce, record, rap, sing a little. He wanted to be better at singing, but I'm like, man, you dope because the way you do it is you raw. So something you should crazy, know. Man. Yeah, man. I'm like, man, sing that shit, Dre. So yeah, man. So yeah, man, the quality was key, and working with different artists with Wash House, Swamp Cat, you know, since '84. You know, the guitars, you know, always talk about putting guitars on the shit.
Swamp, I mean, since '84 is my favorite song of all time, and it's because of the way, come on.
That's Swamp Cat, yeah.
Listen, RP my boy Carl, man. We had a crazy party one night. I'm talking about we was in Frisco. Stupid party. People passed out everywhere. We passed out on top of each other. Mm-hmm. I wake up in the morning, and I hear this nigga on the guitar.
Yeah,
I'm waking up like, what the fuck? It felt like Dre was in the building, and it was, bro, that's some of the funkiest shit ever. Pull up a chair, let me make you a plate. This game that seasoned like a tasty steak. 8 to 8, I've been serving them well. I was serving Yale when L was rocking bells, clocking mail. Getting it, copping it, flipping it, flipping it. Now I'm spitting it, bar for bar. European whipping it, car for car, no, ho. You know I say no, but I need you like Jaws need a raincoat. I fandango, stay high as the star spangled, choke the blood out your bitch, get strangled. Get mangled, fucking with this pimpin', bitch, I'm hot as Lipton. Dre Simpson, you better pay attention, it's all gamed up. Peep the bio, the fio, you see how, you hear the flowetry and that shit was spoken motherfucking word, bro.
That's why when I listen to every other rapper, they don't come close. And was you living it? And then it add to because he lived it. I watched
Talk to me about Superman. Cause you
Superman. Yeah, the first 2 weeks after I met Dre, I had to issue those dudes that I got into it with pull up on me. They're in their Mustang. They flip a bitch. I said, Dre Funk. We was in a rental car. Dre had a thing on him, and I guess under the seat or whatever. So they pull up on me. They go to grab their thing. Dre grabs his thing. We on Madison Avenue in Sacramento. Jump to the driver's window, put it in their face. You guys got a problem with Jake? You got a problem with me? And they was like, Mac Dre, we don't want no problems with you. They was going for their thing, bro. Okay, I swear.
That's what it's.
So man, I'm like 2 weeks after meeting Dre, throw his life on the line for me, make sure I'm good. Man, a fucking school bus pulls up with 100 kids jumping out. Dre still did this, went all the way through with this shit. Man, it was the crazy. So I knew Dre was a superhero to me at the time. Bro, and if Dre got mad, there's a reason. So
Dre got mad as
yeah,
reason. So
we had his
cool
back.
Cat.
Yep,
He was a
yep.
cool cat. So
Usually, and we not have to talk him down or make him feel. Let's just figure this one out. But Dre was don't fuck with Dre. Fuck with his money.
So I seen you with a lot at Treal TV, right? But it was one particular incident where it was going down. Dre was like Shaft in that moment. That nigga had a coat on. He had a motherfucking bucket leather coat, and it was fighting going on. Doobie fired. First of all, Doobie hit like thunder, like
that was
Hercules.
a different event. So that with your Doobie, I think that was the Richmond event. I got into it on stage there, and then they just had my back. The Jack dipped somebody, saved my life. I was up against the wall, and they said I wasn't supposed to be on stage. I said I'm here with Mac Dre. They kept pressing me, and then we just got funky. Dre just, I think that was the night Doobie came through and just hit that dude in his neck and chin.
And it was
and it was on.
And then Dre, it looked like at first he was trying to stop it. Then he realized, man, hold on, who started this? It looked like
it was going
he started doing math in his head.
Yeah,
Doobie was locked in on the nigga and went to go talk to him.
Yeah, so when he walked out, we were in Sacramento, in Old Sac, and then something happened with that big dude too. I got into it, and then Dre, let's go outside to get, and we got Dre's cousin Los. That's who choke slammed the dude. So we go walking out the back, coming around. Dre's walking up. I'm right behind him, walking up on the stage, ready to jump on his head if I got to. But then Dre punched him in the mouth, and then Los picks him up by his whole body. I swear, this dude was 250 to 300 pounds. Picked him up by his whole body, choke slammed and dipped him on the ground. And it was over after that. They didn't want no more smoke.
Y'all niggas moved like a machine. So when I heard Dre say on the song, I was a little boy. I heard that nigga say, you fuck with my man. He said, see, me and my team, see, we a machine. You fuck with my mans and I'm going to have to intervene. So that's kind of how I came to my next point. Because this is just a quick question. July 5th. I seen a nigga fucking with my mans, and I felt obligated to intervene. Now, although I respect both parties, I love both parties. I wouldn't have been in the building recording if I didn't have love and respect for both parties. I was a fan watching one of my favorite rappers do what they do. And a man comes on stage with a big ass plaque that was already on stage, so I know motherfucker seen the plaque. And he says, on behalf of the state of California, Bad Haiti, this is for you. I'll keep bringing your name up because you should have played with my boy like that. They put you on the motherfucking chopping block, so your ass is on the chopping block. They had you come up there and say, on behalf of the state of California, we would like to declare July 5th, Earl E. 40 Stevens Day. Earl E. 40 Stevens gets up, says what he has to say, asks to take a picture and walks off the stage. When it's quiet, I simply yell out, R.I.P. Mac Dre. I'm in the crowd saying, this pissing me off. I leave the place, I go drive 4 minutes away, pull over and let everybody know, hey, this wasn't right. I don't give a fuck. You nigga, it wasn't enough people in the crowd saying, hold on, wait. You feel me? So when I say this, the clip go viral, boom, I go home. I already knew when I was in the crowd, I was gonna pull up that Doobie interview because I thought in the crowd, I said, wait a minute, Doobie wasn't tripping. That's just my opinion at this point. My opinion, this is what I'm thinking. So I go home, I throw the Doobie interview up, that go crazy, and then I see Matt Haney do another video and he says, we didn't actually give him a day. So now I'm like, why is he lying? I got a video footage of you giving him the day. Why not just say, yo, we made a mistake and whoop-de-whoop bam and move forward? But then all that shit he was saying about Dre, like, oh, Dre is a legend. He's great. We was two legends. I'm like, why the fuck y'all ain't say all that shit on that stage? So it came to that. July 5th, you see all the news breaking. What's your feeling? Because this is your best friend.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't know who came up with that. If it was intentional at the time, the way it played out made it look like it was. So I seen the videos too. I seen the videos where Matt Haney, took gave the award and called it E40 Day, and then the next day said, no, I never said that. So that's my issue with it. But other than that, I don't know. Like until I see the proof in my hands to know that whether whoever came up with this idea, people should have known. I feel it's no reason like now people know like you don't do that. Don't make sure you got to respect the Mac. He much loved. So. He was a real one. He's so real that there's too many people going to defend him and everything
22
around
years
him.
later.
Yeah, so
22 years later.
we created the culture. We was hyphy.
Okay, hyphy. Let's
we
talk
was
about it. The hyphy era. Look,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you on
Our
time.
energy, yeah.
You on
Yeah.
time. I was
Yeah.
already there.
We
Okay,
was
so
hyphy.
look, the
Yeah.
hyphy era.
Yeah.
Um,
The pills made us hyphy, the energy, our crew, our
The
songs we were putting
hyphy.
out.
Where do you think that came from?
I think it came from Keek the Sneak, and then Keek told Dre, and then Dre. So I don't know how long Keek had it and running around in the town, people saying hyphy, or maybe he created it. I'm pretty sure he created it. Or something. Yeah, hyphedelic or whatever, you know, is like a shortened version of something that Dre told me. But then I heard it on that album, so it was on Mind of a Hustler, the song. So I never heard it anywhere before that.
H-Y space P-H-Y.
Yeah. And that's the first place I heard it coined on wax, and then let alone I talked about it with Dre when I first met him. So that was, like I said, 98, 99. So maybe, you know, came out, but it was Keek the Sneak though, for real. Like,
So
yeah,
shout out to Keek the Sneak,
yeah.
man. I was saying that too. I'm like, I definitely think he the king of the super duper hyphy.
He had to say it, or just gave it to Dre, and Dre, or he said, "Man, you know what hyphy is? You hyphy, Dre." And then we got to do a song. They ended up doing the song, you know. So it was that big in their minds at the time. But I just met Dre after that. So, and I felt the production quality on that album was mediocre on some of the songs. Everything Dre spit was insanely amazing. Of course, all the time, his bars are always the dopest. But the production quality, the levels and stuff like that, I feel, and that's why, you know, we wanted to focus on that. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Was in our own studio, and we did it our way. Dre did some of the beats, and you know.
Okay. What was Dre's relationship with Keek the Sneak? How was that relationship?
They always, yeah, it's a party with them two to get together. Yeah. The energy always great, smiling, laughing, partying, doing whatever we got together. But, you know, Keek was always good, upbeat, having fun. You know, we was at the farm with them too. You know, all his crew, the Farm Boys, Ike Dola, Big Scoot.
Big Scoot, that's my uncle.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Big Scoot.
Yeah. Ike Dola, Bruh Hef, you know, and so. But they were really so hyphy too, just like us. And like I said, something terrible and all that just came together, and then they really saw us. But the swag that something terrible had was just, and the energy was just, and the dancing, and we were coming up with all these moves and this surfing and all that. That was them. Surfing was them. So when you see people doing this, you see that's surfing, and that's from something terrible. They got to give it up, bro.
Talk to me.
They got to give it up to something terrible, man. Yeah, Stupid Swoop. Like I said, I gave him his first pill. He was on the table in Fresno. Be Legit, RBL, and Mac Dre, and you know, and Stupid Swoop ate that pill and was doing this the whole time, wouldn't stop, talking shit to the girls, man. It was, man, and he came to life, bro. So, you know, we start surfing, all of us start surfing, and that's the surf, you know, we surfing.
That's where that shit comes from.
That's where that shit came
you heard
from,
that shit here
whether
first.
they got it or somebody, whatever, but they brought it, and we was doing it, we was cracking up doing it. And the Bird and Bad Business and Dre doing the Bird, and you know, going stupid doing the Bird, and man, bro,
even with the pants falling down.
The pants fall down. That's stupid. That's noon. That's my folks noon. That's you know, that's the clapper. Yeah. So it was his birthday party at the skating rink in Sacramento, and you know, we was dancing so hard, Boss Tycoon in it, and his pants fell down. So they caught that on Treal TV, and everybody went stupid after that. So when pants fell down, that's noon. You're going to see him too. We're going to get him on the interview. Stupid after that. So when pants fell down, that's noon. You're going to see him too. We're going to get him on the interview. But that's the homie. That's my little brother.
That's
so yeah,
crazy.
Something terrible. That's family, bro.
That's where this shit come from.
Yeah. And so I'm going to tell you, like, the real people that was really there with Dre every day, something terrible, top of the list, bro. We was there with Dre every day because we lived in Sacramento on Florin Road at the Rappers Island, and we lived in Antelope with my girl, and Fulton Avenue at Timberlake. I had an apartment over there, so we was back and forth from all three places every single day. So, in the Bay Area, once in a while, when we take our girls to the strip club, that's a whole nother story.
All right, talk to me about them last couple of years, man. This is gonna be a tough part of the situation. Them last few years of Dre life, man, what was it like? I mean, like leading up to him, let's say, because what we talked about so far, we talked about all the his last albums, them last ones he did, them last couple of years. What was that like with him?
The last couple of years, he knew how dope he was, but he knew his fate was coming, I feel. So now watching him and how his work ethic was, tomorrow wasn't promised, and he knew that. They took him away. We were under investigation by the feds, and they were coming for some other stuff we'll talk about later. So at that point, in his mind, he probably even thought he had to get it done even quicker. So, you know,
either jail or
jail. They came to the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he knew.
Detectives came to the house looking to talk to us about a conspiracy to commit murder on a detective,
What?
which we didn't know what the fuck they're talking about. We're doing music. Dre's not involved in anything stupid right now. He's got me out the streets. We're just working on music, having fun, go doing shows, and now all of a sudden some detectives come to the house, drop off a card. I got the attorney. They called him. They said that they were investigating him for that. We're like, what the fuck are you talking about? The attorney says, no, I know where Mac Dre's been since he got out of jail. He's not doing nothing like that. And they left us alone. But imagine how we felt. Dre's like, Jake, you might have to go back with your family now. I don't want to get you in no trouble. There's some bullshit. You know, we would never do no shit like this or talk about it. I said, I know, especially, you know, talk about some stupid shit. We don't want to hurt nobody. We, you know, we was having fun. Like, we want to keep it going. And we had a good thing going. So whatever was going on with, you know, behind the scenes, it was really weird because I was on the run for like 6 years during that whole process, and then they came and got me after Dre died for my warrants from that. And it was just owed time I owed for work project and shit like that. But the whole time they could have kicked the door in for a no bail warrant, but they waited. So I'm like, basically, we under surveillance by the big boys. So, you know.
Dre was under surveillance and he knew it.
Hip hop police, we knew what it was. All rappers are being watched to some degree. You're not, if you what are you doing with your money? How are you getting it? And at that point, when you're making money, pay your taxes and you know, do what you got to do. And we were learning how to do all that and how, you know, how it worked. So we always wanted to, we didn't want to get in no trouble at that time. We knew how to get money the right way. So, you know, especially wouldn't get caught up in those stupid shit to go target somebody or. So I don't know what that came from, but Dre in his mind, he was scared, and I was.
Damn. All right, so
crazy,
Dre goes to Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I went on two tours around the nation with Dre, passing out flyers in every city. Me, Dre, Miami, some girls and shit. And so living from city to city, you know, no weed, all that shit.
What was that like?
That was insane. That's a whole movie. That shit's a whole movie right there.
On the road with Mac Dre.
Yeah, on the road with Mac Dre in Miami.
All right, so are y'all driving everywhere?
Yeah, we drove the Benz and the Range Rover in the snow from city here to Oregon, Seattle, all across every city, Colorado, all the way to St. Louis, Missouri. Drove it across the nation twice and passed out flyers in every city. Me, hand to hand. Yeah.
Talk to me, I'll talk back. So that was Instagram. That was you had to get out there and physically promote your product. The product is Mac Dre.
Yes, out the trunk. Yeah.
Out the trunk.
Damn near out the trunk because then we had stores deal, right? Yeah. But we'll sell it out the trunk.
So the road life in a Benz and a Range Rover, state to state.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? In the snow. Talk to me about driving through the snow.
The snow with them whips, man, I don't even know. Those whips did so good in the snow. Blew my mind. We were driving so fast and they pushing the limit. I don't want to drive fucking 60. We're going 70, 80 miles an hour in the Benz and the Range in the snow. They plow the road, but we're, you know, and we mobbing. Those cars held up good.
Yo, get on the road.
We went north first, Oregon, Seattle, spent a lot of time just chilling, hitting the strip clubs, doing our thing, and then, you know, hitting every other state in between, staying with different people that helped produce a lot of the stuff during that time.
Y'all doing this, technically no record label. Like, it's no major, it's y'all.
Thizz Entertainment, yeah. So Dre went and got the business license, and then, you know, that was a word from, I think, Miami. Thizz will hit your stomach and start fizzing. And then, you know, we give me that.
I need that break. Where does the term fizzing come from?
Yeah, the drug. And what it do when it hit your stomach, it fizzes. And so, but Thizz is like, you know, a word off that fizz and feeling, you hit your stomach and you start thizzing, bubbling up. and you start feeling it, and you
Shit.
about to, he's about to get on for a minute. You know how bad he's hitting you. The tireder you get, the more on you finna be. And that, And so then Miami came up with that when we did it, we was, and then the face was, and then that face came, that was the Thizz face. So we was doing that shit in the morning time, man. We wake up 7, 8 a.m. Jake, let's do it. Let's pop. We finna have a big day. Okay, what am I gonna say? No. You feel me? We ride with Mac Dre, man. Man, give me that. We on. Let's go get our white tees and we on. What we doing? What we doing?
The uniform.
Yeah, white tee, man. We go to the China shop, man. Right? There's a few of them. One in the south, but we go to the China shop right on Fulton and Bell, or Fulton and Hurley or something out in there. I'll show you the one that's right next to the gym right there. So we go to that same one, get our white tees, and at the time when we wasn't doing good, we'd be getting Echo clothes, from the Chinese shop. Yeah. But with our white tees, we still peasy, and how we dressed it up. That's another thing. Dre was so peasy, no matter what it was, he knew how to make it look or get a different size to where he could wear it right. He was just the man.
Style.
His style was insane. He had it already. I'm like looking at, he's like getting Vans and like, what the fuck? Nobody wears Vans. Yeah, they like this. And then cuff the pant, a big cuff. I'm like, oh, you stupid, bro. You going crazy. Hell yeah. Like, okay, they don't know nothing about, they still, you go look, it's going to come around again and they're going to do it like him.
Everything he did came backwoods. Look at backwoods.
Oh, backwoods. Yeah, I ain't never stopped smoking since the day you rolled my first backwood, man. That shit, bro. I do it because he can't do it, so I do it for us, bro.
What was his relationship like with Yuck?
Okay, so Yuck, yeah. This is my point of view. Being with Dre when we ran into Yuck and how that really panned out. People say this and that, but I was with Dre for a year or so before we did this. So we had the show in Fresno. Be Legit invited us to Las Vegas. E40, Sugar T, Be Legit, Yuck Mouth, and maybe Sibo, maybe someone else was on that venue. I don't know, but I remember it was Yuck Mouth was doing the Thug Lord album. Then we go up in there, we see Yuck, we say what's up, we see 40 first in the MGM, then we end up seeing Bila, we kicking it with Bila. We do the show, we coming with them, me and Dre's dancing for Yuck Mouth.
At the MGM?
Yeah, we seen 40 at the MGM.
What was that like?
Yeah, so this is the first time Dre seen 40. And so Dre walks up, and Dre's like, what should we say, Cuddy? There go 40 right there. I'm like, let's see what he say and see how he act to us. Like, well, okay, and let's just walk through. If he say, and we get kind of closer and someone like noticed or something, or they saw eye to eye or something. And then, oh shit. Oh, he said, oh, what's up, 40? And then 40 says, what's up, Andre? And so Dre look at me and then, all right. And we didn't stay, we just left. And that was that. That's real. That's 100% what happened. There was no extra, was no argument. There was no nothing. They shook hands though, but he called him Andre. And I don't know how Dre felt really about that. We'll get into that later maybe, and how I see Dre feeling later and all this stuff.
That's what I'm asking about next. I asked you about Yuck right now. I'm asking you about 40 next. But y'all, all right, y'all y'all on the way to Fresno for this show that Bila put y'all on. Yeah, we meet, and then we run into Yuck Mouth. Whether, I don't know if Dre met Yuck before this or not, but I assume that was the first time, because we, Looney's was in our head for one of our potentially fucking with us at ultimately all time. That's probably why we were even there mainly. You knew Yuck was gonna do, we was rocking Yuck Thug Lord album anyway, right? That's the shit me and Dre listened to every day as part of that Keek the Sneaker shit, but he was a little different, a little bit more mob and more, but still, not as much hyphy as that, but Yuck, much respect, much love to Yuck, man. He's just solid and dope as fuck, always been, and peasy too. So, Yuck, he got the swag, he from the town, and is always solid. We fuck with people like that. So immediately, we fucking with Yuck. So, from then, we did the Thug Lord. I remember the outfits we was wearing. I think we stopped and hung out with Jamal a little bit, and then Molly Ma. And shout out to Molly Ma. And then after that we go to back home, fucking with something terrible. And then Dre went to LA later and then tapped in with Yuck. Yuck came to the house, and Yuck was at the house on Eastern and Sierra, Eastern and Watt. The house with Dre's doing the RCs with the boats. He was over there with us. We met him in Emeryville. We did all the shit, the little video clips you see, but we love Yuck. They got along so well
BA and them, Dre and BA would be making fun of each other so tough all day. It's the funniest shit you ever seen, Dre and BA. Oh man. So yeah, so that's much love to Yuck. Like nothing ever, So Yuck was one of the closest people with Dre. So he in the circle like always, like before anybody else. And if I say a name, it's that guy was with us and much love.
Come about?
Who?
Boss Tycoon, one of the
Boss
most
Tycoon was
epic songs.
Yeah, we did.
Ever.
We did.
How did that come about?
Yeah, we did the. So I'm pretty sure Psycho did the beat, right? So wasn't Rob Lowe, was Psycho, and then so we had that beat pack with Rob Lowe. I mean, Psycho was with us, and we was at. I had a little studio at Timberlake, and so I think that song was done at the studio in Timberlake, recorded. And then Yuck got on. I don't know his part came on, but we fucking put that shit in the CD player, bro. And that shit, it was over. Something terrible was with us. We went fucking crazy. I knew, that shit, bro. Like, fuck what it cost. And Yuck was with us, bro. We was campaigning so fucking hard, bro, for that shit. Every day we was on a whole nother level. Cause when they hear this, Dre's dream was islands and sand, beaches with sand. So that was our whole goal. We was finna sign with Sony or somebody for 10 M's. That's we talked about it. So we gonna rap and do all this shit and build a catalog and sell that and then do some more for somebody else, but get our island. So we had our mini rappers island, but it wasn't.
But it was the vision.
Yes, it was the vision. I knew it was
coming.
coming. We all knew it was coming. We all believed in Dre. And so, yeah, we all had ways that we helped Dre and get to where he's going. People from Vallejo, people from Sacramento, and contributed and had each other's back and go to war with each other. We fight in clubs. So who knows what would have happened if we don't have each other? You feel me? So, and we brought the Bay back. 2003, I threw a concert. Dre backed it. It was us, Yuck, RBL, San Quinn, everybody. It was in San Francisco, and it just we did a radio slot, and too many people came. Like 10,000 people showed up in the fucking streets. And they shut it down. Fire marshals shut the whole shit down. Helicopters, but we was bringing the Bay back right then. That was 2003. So I got the fire somewhere. I think it was March 2003. But but we still, but 04 was Dre was really seeing it. We can book some shit now and give us our 10,000, give us our 20,000, give us our 50,000. Let's do the show with you. Like we ain't doing nothing unless we do it with you, and then give us our 50,000.
Talked about Dre bumping in the 40 at the MGM.
Yeah.
The Andre thing, kind of you as his friend, could you tell if it rubbed him wrong or not? Like
I feel like maybe Dre wanted a Mac Dre.
Yeah.
So
what's up, Dre, or something?
You should have gave him "What's up, Mac Dre," or get Mac Dre, "What's up," and made it more. And that was just kind of like done. And okay, well, he's still gambling. And he's with his crew. We just kept it pushing. We didn't want to take him away from the table and do all that, but we all said what's up, and it is what it is. And man, they know each other like from kids, and so, but it wasn't no disrespect or nothing like that. And so, it is what it is.
What was their working relationship?
There was none.
Okay, because I got a lot of people saying that.
Yeah, there was no
they did
working
songs
relationship
together, man.
Yeah, they sent the songs back and forth, and they both did their verse, and then so it was done in different studios. They never got to do a song together, whether they wanted to or not. But that was something Dre was thinking about doing a real song with 40, and obviously peace in the future.
That would have did like
squash the violence. Dre's gonna have to be a major spokesman for that at some day. People are getting hyphy. Bad things are starting to happen. People are starting to get murdered left and right. So at one point Dre's gonna have to do some positive, and that's why a lot of the songs are different, more partying, more getting away from gangster rap. We still had that element, but we was trying to have fun and get
Talk about that. So Dre made being a gangster and still being cool. He made I could be you don't gotta be walking around the roughest, toughest guy though.
Right.
You could be from where you from, you can be who you are, but bro, smile.
Right.
Smile, bro. Go have a good time. Go knock a shorty.
Yeah, Dre was always I have to find him, right? So he's always
you mean you had to find him?
Everywhere we went, all the clubs and all the shows we did for the first 2 hours, he's running around talking to different people up in their business. And they fucking they love him, right? But they there to see him. So he get all that really like close with the fan shit. Right when we get there, we hanging out. And then we got to pull him away. He having
Get on
hella fun.
stage,
He
yeah.
entertaining everybody. He's more than a rapper, bro. He was a straight comedian, like the funniest dude ever, like top 3 in my life I ever seen, right? Including Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, bro. Like Mac Dre was a fucking like man, next level, bro. Like
So the shit we seen today, these IRL streamers and all of that shit, could you imagine
man,
Dre
yeah.
would have had a camera
man.
on him like that?
Everybody would pay for a subscription to watch Dre every day.
For sure.
Yeah, because he'd be in a different, AKA dude. He could have did Thizz Washington one day, Ronald Reagan the next day, and you don't know what he's gonna do, and it came and surprise you every day. All of a sudden, he's over here doing this as this guy, bro. Oh my, bro.
Is there a difference on and off camera, Dre? Is there Andre Hicks, Mac Dre? Do you see it different?
There's a.
Talk to me about the difference between Andre Hicks and Mac Dre.
Andre Dre, that's that's your brother. That's man, he's just cool, chill, not too loud, not too, just always want. If he's in a good mood, that's everything. So, and he could always make light of whatever was going on too. So that's my type of dude. I got situation with people and they throw fits over every little thing. Dre, if he's throwing a fit, it's serious. Like, it's really, you got to be involved and help him get through that, like, period. Because it's serious shit. He's pissed, like, and rightfully so. So, he's a very giving person, the most giving, make sure everybody's cool, like they say, and the leader of the pack. So Dre's in charge. Dre is the CEO. So
Mac Dre,
he was a boss and he was fair, and as long as you 100% and trustworthy and loyal and honest, you 100 with him. So that's where the problem lies, and all the other shit, people's true intentions and what happened and how it played out. So it's really at this point, let's talk about moving forward and doing good things and positive things and stuff like that. So.
All right, so who was Mac Dre? That was Andre. Who was Mac Dre?
So Mac Dre was a fucking superhero pimp / gangster / bruh. This dude, man, when he was on, bruh. So hopefully it was in a positive, but when that Mac Dre came out, bruh, it was showtime. Yeah, so he was ready to go on stage, like, and really kill it. And he was a great dancer. Like I said, one of the most creative persons, if not the most creative person I've ever met. So there was so much missed opportunity and things we could have created.
Actor.
So much with just him and just, okay, let's do this now. Okay. Movie, actor, yes.
Yeah, he could have for
producer.
Sure been an actor,
but guess what? Do the whole soundtrack and produce it and mix and master it while we made the movie. That's the type of shit he wanted to do.
And mastering
yeah, he can mix and master.
Too?
Yeah, engineer everything. He knew how everything worked. All the stuff. When we got the studio equipment back and plugged it all in, it blew my mind because the way he was able to plug everything in perfect. He knew each chord went to where, it was so quick, then it was boom, it was on. Jake, this is how we make beats. And he showed me how to do everything from ADAT to whatever the Pro Tools we was working on at the time.
Damn. All right. All right, man. 2004 November. Passes away. What's that like? What was that like for you? What did that do to you? How did that affect you in your life? And what's your understanding of what took place in Kansas City?
So I heard over the radio one day Dre died. This was about 30 days before he passed away. And I called him because I ain't seen him in probably a few weeks or something. And so I heard he died on the radio. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And why would I do this? I call his phone just to make sure, right? And he answers. He's like, Jake. I was like, fuck, what, bro? What the fuck, bro? I just heard this shit on the radio. He's like, I'm good, Cuddy. We got to go over to KML. Go tell him I'm alive.
And I hear that interview.
All right, I'm coming. You coming, Jake? You fucking with it? Yes. Where you at, man? Went over there. I was in a Lexus, dropped the Lexus. Dre goes, what you want to drive, Jay? G5, Range Rover. I'm riding with you in the G5. I don't want to drive. You drive me. I'm coming with you. All right, jump in. I'm in the G5, me, Dre, and Ryder. I think it was. So we drive over there. We like 7 cars deep. Ranges, G5, Benzes, shit. We mobbing European, bro. Diplomatic community, bro. We the shit, bro.
We robbing
Nobody fuck with us, bro.
Yeah.
We pull up 100 deep, bro. Making from one phone call, bro. So we go to KMEL. We go up in there. Dre's alive. He's feeling good. He's like, man, yeah. He's like, man, we heard you died. We heard you OD'd on ecstasy. I'm in there. I'm in the circle at the boot in the studio. Dre's next to me. So then they're like, Dre, you're alive, man. You didn't die. You didn't OD on ecstasy. No, man, I'm good. And then talked about, you know, what we doing. We tapping in with Too Short. We talked about that before. We you know, about who we rocking with. Like, we really, you know, Short's next, you know, and so that song was that no one ever heard. We never got to do. That was coming. So Blow the Whistle came about of that after that. But imagine what we was about to do. He gave it up, said Short, the Godfather. Short, Dre was always a Too Short fan. We talked about it all the time. He loved Short. And so, you know, Short was fucking with us. He's out doing his thing. He's being Short. He's, you know, doing good, successful. And then, oh, what's my town doing right now? Hold on, let me go tap back in. What they talking about? You know, and he's hearing it. He knows, you know. So then I'm alive. I'm here. We doing this album. You know, we back. We fucking with Too Short. We fucking with this and that. Okay. So then we go home. Dre said, that was that day. It was that day. We went back home to Elk Grove. Dre had a new spot in Elk Grove with some girl. We was in the kitchen, sitting around the table with some high chairs or something. And he's like, Jake, you coming with me to Kansas again? I already been out there twice on world tour. I hated it. Because some of the people looked at us weird, like, you know, like, I don't know how you really feeling. We taking your girls, all the shit, right? We superstars out here. Everybody else loves us, but a lot of people, you know, different places. No weed, you know. No weed. You feel me? But I already did it twice, so someone else got to go now. But I'll do it, Dre, if you need me. But for some reason, I just met my wife at the time, driving down the street in the Benz. Dre didn't barely let nobody drive that car. But Dre said, go get me some breakfast one morning to McDonald's, take the Benz. My car was somewhere else. I take the Benz and I meet my future wife I ended up having kids with that morning. So then I ended up staying home because I had something to do for court or something with her. And he said, yeah, you just stay home. I said, he said, you coming to Kansas next week or in a few weeks? I said, I can, but, you know, I got this shit. It was something important. Maybe it's a court date or something I had to deal with. And he said, no, it's just, I said, all right. He gave me a hug. And so then he gets booked this show out there. I don't hear nothing. That was pretty suddenly booked. And then all shit breaks loose. I got the call from family that morning, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, November 1st, 2004. I was like, I knew it, man. What the fuck, man? Like, I just felt some weird shit out there, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but let's figure this shit out. So, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know who's responsible. Some bullshit over a concert. You know, I know a lot more than I'm saying, but it is what it is. Like,
what they say happened over the concert was, did he not appear for a show, or did he appear?
Oh no, he appeared.
So like,
I think they gave him a deposit, and then that's going to get him to go. So he at least got something to come out there.
Okay.
So whether it was a setup or whether it was a bullshit that happened with the promoter at that point, see, I wasn't there, so I don't know. So, you know, then goes out there, some money exchanging, some nights. You know, let us get the money. We got to make the money, Dre. Please stay with us. Please help us do this. Dre, okay, arguing, doing the shit. So who knows how that evolved.
Actually transpired.
Yeah. So Dre ends up dead. Yeah, it was the worst day of my life.
What's that like for you?
Oh yeah, it was broke my heart. I was devastated. It was fucked up. It's fucked up. It really is, because I knew he was about to go up. All the work we put in, even for the past 5 years that I was with him, so much work every day, all day long, back and forth every day. All the work, tedious times and hours of sitting there sitting there while he's working on computers and learning all this shit. It's just insane. We put figured out how much time that was, bro. But it is what it is, because he was Mac Dre, and he was so dope that's all that matters. So all that work we put in to show that he was so dope, that was one of my products I put out. So that's that. And that was the success of everything, how dope he actually is and how this legacy keeps going.
What was that like? Okay, now you done lost your best friend, he passed away.
Yeah, I had to walk away from it.
What was it like seeing him become who you and him knew he was?
It was crazy. I'd be at the lakes and they're bumping it in boats with the big speakers pointing right at my face. I help make the songs. I'm like, man, like kids are coming up to me in the grocery stores. Hey, you look familiar. You know, at that time, it was so hypey and so big. It was studying the Treal TV. So
how y'all dressed? Everything.
Everything
start dressing like y'all.
Dressed that, we acted that, we going dumb, we popping pills, we partying every weekend. Our white tees, our sports attire.
Y'all had goggles and shit. The way y'all had stunners with the headbands over the
stupid swoop, pop the lenses out, and man, yep. And
okay, wait, pop the lenses out.
Yeah. I forget what it was. Maybe one lens popped out, then he's like, man, fuck this or something, and popped the other one out, and we was live TV. You feel me? So, we was on another level, man.
Okay, TV. So wait, we gotta get a credit to the man.
Yeah.
So you say one of his lenses fell out.
Yeah.
Then you say, man, hold on, we keep it moving.
Yeah.
Pop the other one out.
The other one out, yeah.
And the whole movement started with that shit.
Stupid
stunner glasses without the lens.
Yeah.
Spinning rims, tremendous knock.
So that was another thing. The stunner shades was really, that's just, okay, so Dre went to Vegas and then he saw the pimps and they was wearing, you know, the big Liberace shit, and then he's like, he was pimping so hard, and he had they were oversized lenses. I mean, oversized frames. So when you get them old, oversized frames, dumb old lady glasses, that was our look. That's why it come with the stunner shades, and we wasn't really telling people what it was, but we had it on. But like, that was what we was looking for in the store, and we would go buy them, and I pass them out. The one on the last Doobie album, his black ones, I gave them to him. So you see what I'm on. You see what I'm on. I mean, you probably see me in something different next time. But yeah, man, 20 or better, baby. You know, I want to put the gems in them too. So yeah, we on that shit. So let's talk about gems and stunners and all that shit. Yeah, that's what we doing that shit for Dre.
Hey, that's what that shit
big
comes
swag.
from?
Yeah, big swag. We bosses, man. Yeah, mafia. Yeah.
Talk to me, Jake. I'm gonna wrap it up like this, man.
No. Back then, we don't do this shit no more. Yeah.
I'm talking about everything is alleged here, even my middle name.
Right.
Drip Damone, allegedly Jr. So look, I've searched the internet high and low for you, man. I can't find a word of this uttered anywhere on the planet. And when I think about it, it's like, bro, this man could have told this to anybody. DJ Vlad,
wait till you hear my story.
Academics, everybody, bro. Like, you could have spoke this shit to anybody.
Yeah, it's so deep.
What made you reach? I'm a small time person, bro. I really don't. I'm doing this shit independently, just me, bro. Just this shit coming from the heart. I ain't start this shit to speak on. I didn't speak on this to try to get no clicks or views or none of this shit. I spoke on it because I'm like, I heard Mac Dre say, if you fuck with my mans, I gotta intervene, and that's what I was on when I started speaking like this. So. Why now? Why now? And why the Player Circle podcast with Drip Damone Jr.?
Yeah, so when I seen you on the internet really going hard for Mac Dre, so I'm like, I feel the same way in a lot of ways, and I'm always here to set some shit straight or whatever for Dre or whatever it is. But I saw how much love you have for Dre, and I love Dre's family. So, when I see that, I'm seeing you're doing it, and the look of your channel and everything you doing and everything you spitting to me is 100% real. And so, I just reached out, and I don't believe in coincidences. So I wanted to get my story out. I'm working with different people. I'm putting that together and doing that. So, time is now. Mac Dre is everywhere. People, some of the largest artists in the world are giving credit, and we appreciate that. So it's so much that people don't know about Dre and what he did to really become who he ended up being or now. And so I want to help tell that story. And I was, like I said, with Dre for 5 years, and so I know what he was going through every day, where his mind was, where the money was coming from, how we spent it, who we had problems with, who we didn't like. And so all that's coming in movie form or book form. And so, but you've been spitting that real shit for Dre. So I'm like, let's give it a little introduction right here with you. So, we appreciate you, everything you do, the family, Dre's mom, all that. So, and the real rappers around the Bay. So, and we got much love for everybody. So, you know, we're gonna keep it positive and, you know, talk about what we're doing now. You know, I work with a group called Something Terrible, the group Dre founded. I was with him when we founded them. And, you know, I've been rocking with them, and now, you know, everybody's back together and we working on some music. So, you know, we working with certain people like Drip and your channel to come help spread the good word of positive music and fun people. And, you know,
Bring it fun back to this
we still got all that shit.
bro.
We how we used to be with Dre. We're gonna come with it and do streaming and do all the, you know, little movies and all the shit. So, and tell the story about those years with Dre, the ones we knew and we actually were a part of. So, you know, those people were a part of that. And then, so people do need to hear that because it's a crazy story. It's really interesting. It was so much fun. And it was how we, you know, put it's our take on culture and where it came from and our role in help create the culture. So
shout out to Something Terrible, because like I didn't realize how important and pivotal their role was until I actually sat and was looking at the timeline of everything. And then I do realize I don't hear much about them as I should.
Right. Well, we're gonna fix that.
I don't hear much
and
about
they still
them.
rock.
They
They hot right now. Everybody loves. We got some new songs. We dropped one called Tonight. It's on Spotify and all the platforms. And so, yeah, we about to finish that album and, you know, go out to Vegas, maybe work with Molly Mall and some of his people and get a couple more banging ass songs and get people going again. But, yeah, just, you know, look them up. They got music on all the platforms already. You know, do your homework, and we about to come and just go stupid one more time.
Final question. Drake does Too Hard for the Radio, man. Mac Dre tribute, Mac Dre homage, or was he stealing from Mac Dre as many said he was, man? What was your take on it? How do you feel about the record? And what do you think Dre would have thought about the record?
That's homage. Much love to Drake. I'm the one who Jamal called when they did the motto that day because he didn't have Wanda's phone number. They called my phone. I called Wanda. First, I asked him what he's going to do for Dre's mom. He said he's going to help her retire. I was on the phone with Drake. And so I put that together, and then from there, history was made. So he did shots her out, gives love, and that's why he's doing it. And so, you know, he's giving props. What else is he supposed to do? People know where that comes from, and that's what you're doing. You're giving them props. So you ain't stealing nothing. You don't need to steal nothing. You Drake, you can go sing R&B and get $20 billion singing to the girls. Everybody knows that. You paying homage because you a Mac Dre fan, and we know it, and we appreciate it, and we love you for it, bro.
That's what's up, man, because I didn't know how people took the record as disrespect. I was excited, like, hearing my favorite rapper, Drake is also one of my favorite rappers. He just made my argument for me, basically. Right. I've been having an argument since I was 12 that Dre is the best. And Drake just used it. I win. Yeah. So all you niggas have been arguing for years. Right. I fucking win. That was my proof. Yes. So when I heard it, I was excited. I felt like, yo, this is the respect niggas need to put on Dre's name. So I was excited to just talk about that online, and that led to people feeling like, yo, man, y'all riding, y'all D-riding. And I'm like, what? We celebrating the Cuddy, nigga. Yeah, like, no. Nigga, this is.
If anybody would have a problem, it'd be Dre's mom, right? I mean, and rightfully so, but they love each other. So I think Drake is just so big and so doing what he's doing. If he could help you any day of the week, he would help us. He would do whatever. He'd bring us on his stream, and after he sees us and sees we rocking Something Terrible, I guarantee he reaches out. So we rocking, you know. We ready to go out on stage. We ready to go dumb. We ready to bring hyphy back for just a little brief minute, but how it's supposed to be. Fun. You feel me? Yeah. Fun, and it's mob music too. So you know, yeah. That's what's up, man. But fun too. Yeah, fun, man. Like, what else is there? What we gonna do? You know. So.
Shout out to One Take Jake, man. If you got one thing to say about Dre and to Dre right now, and you just wanted, you know, a message to the Cuddy, man, what would it be?
Oh, man. Thank you for everything you did for me personally and the culture, the Bay Area, Sacramento. You hold it down. We love you more than life. And until we see you again, we going to hold it down for you, bro.
Rest in peace, Mac Dre. We going to do it for the Bay.
Drip them up, push. Turn me up. West Coast talk. Drip them on, party. Drip them on. Yeah, we set the tone from the streets to the mic, yeah, we run the zone. Real talk, no cap, what you hear is facts. If it's trending, we on it, bring it straight like that. Drip them up, yeah, we set the tone. Big vibes, big plays, yeah, we in our zone. News, culture, gang, we don't ever miss. If it's real, we talking, yeah, it sound like this. Yeah. Breaking down the game while the world watch. From the block to the boardroom, we connect dots. Twine in the field, yeah, he locked in. Professor with the playbook, we gon' talk then. Heavy on the culture, never watered down. If it's heat in the streets, we report it now. The bass get loud, yeah, we bring pressure. Different point of views, but we move better. From Oakland to wherever they feel the way. Independent grind, yeah, we paved the way. Real ones tap in, fake get exposed. Drip them on podcast, yeah, you already know. Drip them on, yeah, we set the tone from the streets to the mic, yeah, we run the zone. Real talk, no cap, what you hear is facts. If it's trending, we on it, bring it straight like that.